Okay, so Franklin kind of weaves in a few different things here,
He
and one of
does.
them is, Delenn does come out of her
Yep.
cocoon, and she seems distressed in some way. So Lanier calls Franklin to come and try and address this.
Right.
And it's weird because, first of all, Lanier swears Franklin to secrecy, which of course he's happy to do because he likes that kind of doctor stuff.
Oh yeah. But he didn't come off smarmy.
No,
He didn't
not like the
like he
last time
did
when he was
like he
hitting
did
on the
in
chick.
last
Yeah,
season. Yeah, he was
yeah,
very smarmy last
yeah.
season, and
Right.
he was more. And I think that may come from the director side of things. And I think we talked a little bit about that before.
So settle down, Franklin.
The
Um,
thing, well, the
Yeah.
thing with that, and when I'm watching the scene and they bring Franklin in to help. My first question is his question. He's like, well, why don't you get a Mimbari doctor?
mhm.
Hmm.
And well, we have to keep the secret. Why? I mean, her metamorphosis is not a secret. Everybody knows that she's been in this cocoon for days.
Yeah,
Everybody knows what's going on. She's out of sorts, and something's going to happen. The Minbari probably will already figure out what's happening.
Well,
at the end of the episode, she says that she's done this with her government's okay.
okay,
Right.
but we
She
we know
specifically
that there's
says that.
we know that there's a separation though between the top levels of the government and other
The
elements in it.
factions.
Right.
And
Whether that's the case or not, if the other Minbari didn't want her to change or not is irrelevant. They know what was happening. Is my point.
Yeah,
okay,
I,
So
I
but
think
but
blessing
somebody.
was a strong word for her to use in that situation.
Yeah, but again, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Having Franklin, who has absolutely no idea what's going on with her, be the attending doctor because they want to keep something secret that's not going to be a secret. It makes no sense to me because what does Franklin know? He doesn't. I don't know
okay,
what this
I,
is.
I,
Is this
I
normal? I mean, he starts pulling the scales and what he's like. He's completely out of his depth.
Yeah.
I have a counterpoint to that. There's no necessarily any reason to believe that a Mimbari doctor would know about the metamorphosis thing because this is unusual, and he's trying to keep it quiet because they don't know where it's going. Even Delenn says, "I don't know." He asks her about it. She's like, "I don't know." She doesn't know what's really happening to her
She
and
doesn't
with
know what
her.
happened to herself. Yeah.
So I can see that they want to kind of keep this under wraps until they could really figure it out themselves.
That is true. He is a
But I
xenobiologist.
will acknowledge that. Does that mean you can't trust any Mimbari to keep a secret either? It's
Well, well,
I'm
well,
gonna
we,
I've got a
Yeah, but
slightly different take.
but
I mean,
how
I'm
many Minbari have already been in and around on the station and have talked and they've either talked with Delenn before this thing happened or they've seen the cocoon. There's plenty of Minbari that have seen it and know that you can't keep it a secret. People know
right.
a secret one person knows is a secret. A secret two people know is no secret. A
but they've
secret
not seen
three
what
people
came
know.
out of the cocoon though.
Well, that's true, but
That's
I mean,
true.
it's Delenn.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
and this can't be
Don't
the
tell
very
any
first time
Londo
it's
any
ever
secrets.
happened. So,
Okay, Snob, what's your
yeah. So
take?
my thing is, I think it's the writing is kind of giving us a little more than it should be at this point because we know that uh, Delenn has come into this cocoon, and what she's trying to do is she's bridging the gap between humans and the
Mimbari.
Mimbari. So she is becoming part human, right?
But she looks like a
Somehow.
Drazi.
Yeah, but she's becoming part human, right? So she's more human than
More human than
she's a mix
human.
between the two of some percentage, right? So that's why I think they're calling the doctor partially to say, oh, because I mean, I don't know how Lanier knows or
Well,
Delenn knows that maybe they know that she's going to be part human, and that they want him because he knows about humans.
they
But
might
again,
have thought something went wrong.
she said yeah, but she said that she didn't know what was going to happen. And remember, they're before that doesn't quite work out 100% because they're saying before we don't know what she's going to come out with. They didn't come out like we're going to put her in this thing and hopefully she'll come out half human and then that'll be better understanding, right? Like they don't know what's going to happen.
Let's look at it from yet another standpoint, and that is that the whole thing about her being scaly and everything was stupid and really served no purpose other than to be like, oh no, for half a scene. It's like it didn't need to be that at all. It didn't need to be there.
Yeah, I didn't understand why. I mean, what was the point of that side of things, of her skin breaking off? And it's like,
I think they didn't want to, they wanted to delay it to this for the big reveal,
you
and
think
they
so?
didn't want to
Mm.
bring in a Minbari doctor for whatever reason. So
They
Franklin
wanted
gets
to
the
lower
call.
expectations too. It's like, oh my god, she's hideous.
Yeah, but she's got
Well,
hair
it
now.
adds to the whole thing. What's happening to me when she says that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
When
she
is she
doesn't
gonna fly?
she doesn't quite know what's going on.